Turbo Trading with head trader Robert Knight, MBA.
I want to talk about a strategy in stocks that trade in the pre-market. They trade up and then get into a downtrending channel. This ADGI, it's a biotech stock, as we know, obviously the whole biotech sector getting whacked. This thing gapped down from 30, just about 33 down to this level here, 565. Pop back up, dead cat bounce, 50% Fibonacci retracement, and then just sells off. But overnight it did pop, and after hours had this big pop up to 8, and then this morning though it got into this downtrending channel like this. Well, I guess all day, or last night and then this morning. You draw the line touching as many top pieces as you can in here, make the parallel line. Now, the parallel line might be this or this. I tend to try and draw a little bit more conservative as a number. So when you see this type of pattern where the stock spikes in after hours, and then, or even in the pre-market, and then just gets into this downtrending channel like this, 90% of the time, this pattern fails. And if you were looking to short this stock or trade it on the short side because it is in this downtrending channel, at the opening, when it pops to the top of the channel, that's your short position right there. Gave you an opportunity to enter it at the 690 area, 7. Or you might even haven't looked at it, maybe, hopefully being a big pattern there, or big strategy we use, hopefully, it gets up to the 7 area and you could have shorted it there, but it only got to the top of the channel. It's amazing how that works. The channel line works. Just got up close to the top of it there. Short by a couple of pennies. 690 though would have been, 685 would have been a good entry level for a short. I mean, you can short it in the pre-market as well, because it's going at the opening, it's just going to sell off. Sure enough, just gets absolutely hammered at the opening and then drifting off for the rest of the day. There's just that was a great short trade. Typically what happens is you see it in this downtrending channel like this, and then at the opening, when it sells off, it accelerates and trades out of that channel to the downside. So and so you would be looking at, when it did tag the 637, you'd be looking to see what happens at that level to see if it's going to hold or not. It didn't, and so you just stay short. As long as it stays in this big downtrending channel like that, you can stay short that stock. I mean, and here was another indicator when the 15 period moved through the 50 like that so sharply. You might not have been able to get it off, because it was a very sharp sell-off. But if you could, there's a $1.40-50 move in that trade right there. And I think the other one that is similar to that, BTCS. This was the same thing. This morning it was also in a downtrending channel, not quite as well defined because it did trade down below it and then spike back up. But if this is your downtrending channel, I mean, it already had moved down from 11.5 to 8, so it was already down $3 or $4. So it may not, the downside may not be as much, but you can see at the opening it just spiked down again. So I mean, there was a $1 move in there. Now it's just consolidating in here sideways. But again, 90% of the time you get in these big downtrending channels like this, at the opening they sell off sharply, and there's an opportunity to short. And in this case, not so much, because you really want to short it when it pops to the top of the channel, and it didn't really do that. There was so much pressure on it, just never even. It barely got up to the 50 period moving average, and that's about it. Never did get back up to the top of the channel for a short entry. I mean, I would have had my order in here around 8.5 to see if it would tag that, and it didn't. So you would have not taken the trade, because you don't want to chase it down. You just want it to sell up, hit your price entry level, and then cover it on the pullback.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.